These are the adventures of a temporarily out of work wife and mother. And this is Weekend Reset 15, part 3. I told y'all I was cleaning all day long. I also told y'all that after I fed and took those dogs out, I tied them to the doors in the kitchen because I could not return them to their crates until they were cleaned out. Because Lovey has this habit of tearing up her dog bed, and now she no longer has a dog bed. So I swept it out, I mopped it out, I put Gemini's dog bed back, and then to the crate they went. That done, I finished cleaning downstairs and continued with my laundry upstairs. Now, where was I? In part 2, I was telling you about all the things that you have a right to say no to, remember? And then it just abruptly ended because I ran out of time. I knew that I had a part 3, and I figured if you wanted to hear the rest of my life coaching, you'd come back for it. So now here we are. No is a complete sentence, and you have the absolute right to exercise the use of it with any and everyone in any and all situations. And you don't need to feel bad about it. Don't allow anybody to guilt you or gaslight you or manipulate you into feeling like you have to say yes. Like you have to do and say and be things that you don't want to do, say, and be. Pause. Like I told you all, this went over into the next day. So the next day I did my walk. My baby girl went with me and I came back home and picked up where I left off. Now, where was I? Of course, we know that cooperation, collaboration, compromise are all important parts of mutually beneficial relationships. I'm not talking about saying no to things that you have the capacity for, that you have the ability to do, that you know someone else is in dire need of and you are the only person who can provide it, or you've already said yes and someone's depending on you and you know that they are in dire straits and you don't really feel like doing it anymore, so you just arbitrarily change your mind and inconvenience them. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when people ask you to do things that are absolutely optional. When people are asking you to do things that they can do for themselves. When people are asking you for things that they can live without. When people make their failure to plan your emergency. When they've made you their crutch, their problem solver, their way out of no way. You are not Christ. And even if he's called you to be a helper, like he's called me, he has not called you to be the solution for everyone else's problem without any regard for your own capacity, your mental, physical, and spiritual health, your financial obligations, or your emotional well-being. And those who love you will understand. Those who respect you will respect your no. And those who don't have a healthy relationship with the word no are very well going to be upset. But that's their problem, not yours. It's not your job to make them okay with your no. You shouldn't have to justify it, explain it, and you certainly should not apologize for it. You cannot pour from an empty cup. What others receive should be from your overflow. And while there will be times where life in relationship and God will require sacrifice from you, sacrifice should not be your way of being, your way of showing up. It shouldn't be a constant requirement of you. Don't allow other people to expect it of you, and don't expect it of yourself. Because a time will come, a set of circumstances will present themselves where you will not be able to meet the challenge. Deliver on the unspoken and unagreed commitment, and no will be the only option. And boy, oh boy, will there be drama when you finally stand up and say no with your chest. Because you will have created an environment where yes is the only acceptable answer from you. No matter how unreasonable that might be, no matter how unfair, and no matter how abusive. And it's hard to stop something once you get it started. One of the wisest pieces of advice that I received when I was becoming a parent for the first time was from an older, wiser mother who told me, don't ever start anything with your baby that you don't plan to continue. Don't start anything that you can't keep up. And I took that advice to heart. I didn't co-sleep with my children because I didn't want to have to fight to get them out of my bed. I didn't share food from my plate with my children because I didn't want to have to fight with them over my food. I gave them their own food on their own plates. I also didn't want to have to unteach them the very bad habit of eating and drinking after others. It's nasty and it's dangerous. I didn't hold my children when they were sleeping What purpose does holding sleeping babies have, other than to make them need to be held while they're sleeping? I did not start things that I would not be able to keep up. And as a result, I have very independent, fully capable children. Children who have a very good relationship with the word no. Now, they don't necessarily like to hear it, but they don't have a problem with saying it. And that's how it should be. Now, I don't tell other people how to raise their children. Hold your sleeping babies if you want to. Co-sleep if you want to. Feed them off your plate and give them your germs if you want to. But keep them at your house too. Because when they come to my house, when you need a babysitter, when I come to your house, I'm not holding your sleeping baby. They can't sleep in a bed with me, and they certainly cannot eat off my plate. And when they have to go to daycare and school, those are going to be habits that you're going to have a problem dealing with when it comes to other people and boundaries. But that's your problem to deal with. You're also going to have a hard time teaching them how to say no. How to say no when you're not present and what someone is asking of them compromises what you've been trying to teach them about life. How many people do you know who as children were victimized because they were afraid to say no? How many adults do you know who are taken advantage of because they don't say no?